So my daughter goes, just put it on. And it's like, no, I did. I tried to wear it, but it looks so funny that it's like, I want it to look nice like the other one does.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to rely on you. I can see a little bit from my Facebook on my phone, but I don't get, because I'm a guest, I don't get to see anything.
Oh, that's weird because Sean can see it.
He's a host.
No, he's set up just like you.
Yeah, and I don't see anything.
Okay. Well, we only have one person on right now, Rebecca. So, hello.
Actually, we have Catherine, our cousin Catherine.
Okay, well, they'll eventually show up here, but for some reason it takes a little bit. Like there's a little bit of a lag for people showing up on here. Do you have an iPad or anything?
I have my iPhone plugged in.
Okay. There's Faye.
Hi, Faye. Hi, Catherine.
There's Catherine.
And Rebecca.
Yep, we got 3 people so far. But, okay, so you ladies know, once again, we have some trolls again. So if they reach out to you, please, you can have them blocked. And I went on today and Penelope went on and we both have blocked some of them. But there's still, every now and then, someone gets through, which is a regular pain somewhere else. Wow. So, hey, Faye, got a question for you. Want to come on and we'll do a reading for you? I can send you a link. You just have to send me your email.
Or we could ask, I noticed that Elaine from New Brunswick is on.
Oh, I don't see Elaine. Oh, there's Elaine. We'd like, I thought maybe it might be interesting if a person was to come on and we could actually show you how a reading is done for one person. And then we'll go to answering questions. So maybe what we'll do is do that for next week. And if someone wants to come on, we'll open it up. And if someone wants to come on, they can put their name, I am Penelope or I. And we'll put your name in a hat and we'll have my daughter pull it when the show starts next week, and one person will get a free reading. Okay, so I am us. And right now, since Rebecca has already said yes.
In the show, because so far, like Elaine's good. Rebecca? Yes. I noticed Tracy just came on, so we'll maybe repeat it a little bit.
I will. I'm just writing your names now. Okay, Faye, how about for next week?
Faye's in pajamas.
Okay. Hey, I started my work day in my pajamas and house coat. It was 2 hours into it when I finally decided to get dressed. Okay, so Rebecca, Elaine, and what we'll need is your email, or no, better yet, I can go on I am and so can Penelope, and we'll send you congratulations, you're the one. So if we can get all the names before the show ends tonight of who's interested, and then just before we end, Ashley, do you mind pulling a name?
I can bring it over here.
She said if I heard you met my son. I met your son? Who met whose son? Okay. So how about we get started, and in half an hour we will.
You met her son. What son?
I don't know. I don't know. So look, I'm making little pieces of paper for names. I have some now, and before the show is over, if we have more, and look, I took it out of my trusty little book. Nope, not in Kelowna, in Victoria. So we have Catherine. We have Faye. I'm putting you down anyways, Faye. And we have Elaine.
What about you, Tracy? Are you interested?
So what it is we are putting names into a hat, And my daughter is going to pull a name, and next week that person will come on the show with us. We'll send you a link, and we will do a reading for that person on the show next week, on Wednesday next week. If you're interested, say yes, interested in reading, and then I will put your name in the hat. And
Tracy, sure.
Rebecca. Okay, so as I go down, if I see your name and you say yes, but you have to be willing to come on the show so people can see how a reading is done.
Okay, so Catherine says yes.
I already did Catherine, whether
Jessica
she's a yes or
yes.
not. Who?
Jessica?
Jessica? Okay.
And Tracy?
I've got Tracy already. I'm just writing your names down. You're going to have to come on whether you wanted to or not.
And Faye says she'll put on her prettiest PJs.
Okay, good. How about next week we all show up in pajamas?
I don't own any.
Okay, you wear your clothes. I'll wear my pajamas, which isn't much different than what I have on now. Okay, so let's get started.
And Christy says,
Christy or Christine?
Christy.
Okay, I know who that is. So okay, A. And what is Jessica's last initial?
What I find so strange is you literally will show up in your pajamas.
I know.
And I'm the complete opposite. I cannot get up without getting fully dressed before I walk out of that bedroom.
Hey, at least I started wearing pajamas. So that would have been funny. Haha. Okay, let's get started. First of all, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hope you've had a great day and everything. So we're starting with Rebecca. And why don't you go first, Penelope? You pull a card for Rebecca. Maybe show them the deck you're using.
Oh, yes. This is my Jedron deck. This is the one that my sister tricked me into doing readings with.
Hey, that's what sisters are for.
What?
That's what sisters are for.
That was what, 20 years ago.
More than that.
No, 20 years ago, 22 years ago, you traded this deck for the Spanish tarot deck that a client had brought home from Spain as a gift to me. And I hadn't read cards in over 11 or 12 years by then. And then you tricked me.
All right. So what do you have for Rebecca?
The first card for Rebecca. Queen of Pentacles. First thing this card tells me is you need to watch your health. And so I don't know if you need to get tested for COVID, but I think it's not a bad idea. And the other thing is that this woman has hummingbirds coming to a flower in her hand. And hummingbirds signify messages from spirits and loved ones. And the red rose signifies two things. One, it signifies that there is someone that is really worried about you that loves you, because red roses are about love. But the color red, in case you didn't notice, very prominent in this card, also talks about a woman's health. So get your woman's health checked. I'm not sure how old you are, Rebecca, but the one thing I have learned traveling through this world is, ironically enough, women are the most reluctant creatures to talk to anyone about women's health. Go get a checkup. Off to you, guys.
Okay, so Rebecca, I picked the Ace of Cups. I am using this deck. And I picked the Ace of Cups, and this is emotional happiness. And also you're allergic to spider bites, so you got to be careful of spiders. You probably just get a bit of a welt and a red spot. But this is also emotionally being on top of everything. So I would say if you do get checked and there's something up, emotionally everything's going to be okay. But this is celebration. It's about living the high life, but on a pauper's budget, because you're able to make it happen. Okay, face next. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I don't like that card.
Well,
I gotta
Faye,
change it, Faye.
this is the card I chose, but I actually like this card. You'll note that this deck has a lot of, features a lot of women and is extremely cultural. Lots of birds, lots of bright colors, and this is the 9 of Coins. There is some financial success coming your way. I really think you should go out and write that story or write that book about your life, like literally the way you live your life and the things you do. Kind of like how you sort of did that little follow through when you went on your holiday up through the north and stuff. So take care of yourself and look forward to a little increased revenue.
Well, and Faye, so I didn't like the first card, so I pulled another one, and I got the 3 of Cups. And then I don't know, try the other deck I had from last night. Look at that. 3 of Cups as well. So that doesn't happen, Faye. This is celebration. This is like really going to town for celebration. But don't overdo it. Make sure you do it in moderation, where Rebecca's going to live the full life. You're supposed to be living a little bit and celebrating in moderation. Don't go overboard. No heavy drinking, because those pajamas might not look like pajamas in the morning. So I'm just saying, take it easy, but have fun, and have a lot of fun too.
So Courtney, not Courtney, I've got Courtney on the mind. Darcy, it looks like we missed Catherine. She just asked if we could pull a card for her.
No, she's next.
Okay.
Catherine's next. Okay, Catherine, I picked the Sun, and this is celebrating. This is expanding your knowledge, and it's, notice that there is a set of twins here, so it's being tied to your twin, but it's also about helping children experience life in a more positive manner. Okay, and it could be that they're talking about COVID when they say that, experiencing life in a positive manner. And also about looking after yourself. There's always that need to nurture yourself and to remember the child that's within.
Which is incomplete. This 2 of Coins, that talks about the child within. You know, this person's balancing happiness, sadness, moodiness, all the things going around, and still managing to get through it carefree. So keep your balance and stay healthy.
Wow, this is about celebrating tonight, because look, Elaine, here this card is. It's about celebrating. It's a luxury of celebrating, the being pampered, going to a spa, you know, that float thing, you know, where you float and there's that darkness around you. What's it called? Zero something?
The zero gravity. I had to look it up.
Okay. And so this is about taking that time, Elaine, to nurture yourself, to pamper yourself, and don't feel stingy about doing it. And it really feels like this is a time for you to take that extra time, go to a spa when it's open and it's safe to do so, or if you have the ability to put a hot tub in, you get a hot tub and you sit in the yard with it with a glass of wine. Just don't get drunk. Okay. Moderation, make it fake wine. But this is about pampering yourself. I like it. Penelope thinks I'm funny.
I chose the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups shows a very self-contained woman who has it all together and knows how to accept what she's gotten and knows how to take care of herself. I think there's a message coming to you from a little bit of distance, like maybe someone you haven't heard from in a while. So keep a line of open communication.
All right. So next is Tracy. Wow. Okay, Tracy.
Tracy.
Which one did you get? Oh, I got the star, so you go ahead.
Okay, King of Swords, Tracy. You know, if you look, for me, the message for you is in the eagle above. The eagle is, can you see that, Darcy?
Yeah, but if you keep moving it, the guy behind the eagle keeps moving.
Well, yes, because the message is from the eagle. The guy behind this is supposed to represent, see the guy behind at the top, behind the eagle?
Yeah.
That's to represent spirit or the creator.
Okay.
And there is a message coming from a distance to sort of help guide you along the way and give you a little more direction. So keep yourself open.
Well, and Tracy, I picked the star, and this is balancing, and there's definitely messages from spirit coming towards you and possibly a relationship, and that as long as you're looking after your health and you're balanced, everything's should work out around you, but a lot depends on your mindset. Notice how her crown chakra is sort of a little bright. Remember to ground yourself and to just look after your diet and everything, Tracy. Okay. And next is Jessica. Hi, how are you? I'd like to know who your son was. Catherine.
That's killing you, isn't it?
It is. But, okay. So who did I say was next? Jessica. Jessica. All right, Jessica, let's see what we have for you. Ooh, messages. Work messages and striking out and looking for a new, I was going to say promotion, but this could be a new position, and the messages are coming towards you. You're going to see or have the ability to apply for 8 different jobs, and one of those jobs should be the one that holds true to your heart, the one that you want. So don't be afraid to put your resume out there, Jessica, if you're looking for work, because it's definitely showing that there are new opportunities being presented to you, and you should really take charge of it and send your message out there so people can see it.
And I chose the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords shows that in this case, there are 8 challenges or 8 possibilities before you. And although it looks like you're kind of looking at them blindfolded, in this card, if you take the blindfold off, you will find that you are going to look at the thing that you need most. So I think it very much ties into D'Arcy's message.
Okay. And Jacina says she's under a tense amount of pressure right now with crying spurts. I need to know if everything is going to be okay in a positive way, or would it be best to send a private message? I think that emotionally there may be some things that you have to walk away from, that you can't allow your thoughts, your thought pattern to make it worse. And we can, when we're emotionally stressed about something, we always go to the dark side of that coin instead of saying, okay, let it go. Things will work out. I'm feeling, Jacina, that it's going to work out, but you just have to let go of something to make it happen. And if that's following a regime, following a doctor's care or something, then I am going to say you've got to do it.
And I'm going to go along with D'Arcy and add one more thing. Don't forget that we've just come out of a full moon. That was also a full lunar eclipse. And we're heading into the season of Advent, but we're in 16 days or 17 days? Is it 16 or 20 days, D'Arcy? We're having that great big huge event where for the first time in like more years, since the 16 or 1800s, all the stars, these 3 prominent stars, Mercury, Venus, and I can't think of the other one at the moment, are going to be the closest to the Earth than they have been in quite some time, and that affects us emotionally.
But I think it's a little more than just emotional stress by the feels of it, the way she's talking. So I just feel that whatever it is, along with all the planets, and I totally agree that the planets can mess us up, and that should be around the winter solstice, which is the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Yeah. And so you need to talk to a doctor, basically. Because if you're going through crying spurts, you probably have a little depression going on too. So I would say this is time to talk to a doctor, someone who knows what to say in the right way and help you through it.
Everyone, Oriel says hi.
Yeah, has to be ham. Look at that. I want in on the show. Did you want to pull a card for Justina?
Justina, yes. Justina, I pulled the Emperor, and the Emperor stands on a boat, and He's standing trying to keep his balance. And I think that's something that's why I was talking about the emotional side. And I agree with D'Arcy. You really should go see a doctor. And again, I don't know why this is something that is a real theme with me tonight. Make sure that your women's health, we forget that we are controlled by the moon, by the situations as women, and we don't pay attention to the fact that our hearts are not as strong as we like to believe. Our emotional focus isn't as strong, and we're so hesitant as women to admit that little touch of weakness. So Jessica, I am encouraged. Is it Jessica?
No, Justina.
Justina, I am encouraging you to follow what D'Arcy said. Go see your doctor. Go ask, even if it's just to talk and say, look, here's what's going on. To make sure that it's not early menopause, to make sure it's not something to do with your female health as well.
Okay. So, Faye, yes, I like the idea. She put on the prettiest pajamas. And if you come on with your pajamas, I'll put mine on. And Rebecca says, so Christy and Rebecca, I've put you in the pile. Justina, I've taken you out of the pile. Elaine, you're in the pile. Possible. And so is Catherine and Faye and everyone else at the top. And Rebecca says she knows what we're talking about, and I already forgot what we said. That's how fast it is. And I think, Christy. Okay, need to pull one for Christy. So I pulled the Hermit. This is education, but it's light shining in the direction that you want to go. So making a path for yourself. And also you're not only shining the light on the path, but you're following the path that the light is illuminating. And it's also taking a little bit of a chance that you're headed in the right direction, and you're not 100% sure, but you are headed in the right direction.
Okay, and I chose, this is the card that came up for you. And this is, I always want to call this the Two of Hearts when it's actually, yes, I know, the Two of Swords. And this talks about... No,
it's the Three.
Is it the Three?
Yeah.
The Three of Swords. And this card talks about a little bit of emotional pain. And whenever I see this card, the first thought I think is you're holding on to something old that is hurting you. And the only way to get rid of that dagger through the heart, that terrible pain, is to pull it out and let yourself emotionally bleed a little bit. And things are getting better. Believe it or not, they really are.
Okay. So, yes, Catherine, we did. And Sonal is next.
Sonal.
All right. So I've got the Four of Wands, which is celebration. And this is normally celebrating, well, Christmas is coming up. So celebrating Christmas with the kids. It can be celebrating a marriage event, celebrating the purchase of property, if you guys went through with it. And it's also celebrating womanhood. So see, there's two links tonight. The pampering yourself and recognizing your energy, and celebrating womanhood. So this could be you and a friend celebrating your friendship.
Now, this is too funny because I pulled this card before you did.
Oh, there you go.
But I see a different interpretation in this. The Four of Wands talks about celebration. It also talks about family. But this friend, I see this friend as being someone that you might have had a little bit of a rift with, that's just standing on the outside of the circle, that you might want to just check in on them and make sure they're okay. But we both pulled the same.
Okay. So, Catherine says her mom doesn't drink, which must be a family trait. I have drinks if people want to come over, but that's about the extent of it. So, Jake, I picked the Three of Wands, and this is if you work for yourself or you work for someone else, investing in a probability of the future. It's sort of like playing craps. You put it down and hope that things are going to work in the direction you want to, and you're ready to make changes as necessary. And this is also investing in your future. Notice how the ships, if you can see them, one there and there's one over here, and they're going out. It's like sending the ships out, like in the old days where they sent the ships out to other countries to bring back fortunes and stuff. So that's the concept too, is you're investing in your future.
I notice Jake has a lot of questions.
Oh, well, Jake gets one answer.
King of Pentacles, I chose, which talks about a man that likes financial success. But bear in mind that also financial success is something that you have to focus on and you have to work on. It doesn't just come easily. And to make sure that you spend a little time with family while you're so worried about whether or not you have enough dollars and cents.
Yes. So, hey, Faye, I've got an idea for everyone. Next Wednesday, we all come in pajamas and we all bring a teapot. Okay, so Penelope's going to have to wear a dress and pretend it's pajamas. But we all bring a teapot and a teacup, and then we can have a tea party at the same time. Oh, my God, I still love my ideas. Okay. Who's next? Okay, Rebecca says... Penelope, in your deck, are coins and pentacles the same thing?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. In any deck. Coins, pentacles, what else do they use? Ruins.
Ruins and,
oh, just a minute. Let me look. I got another deck here. Fish. Fish. In one deck, it's fish. And... let's see, what's another one? Pentacles. It can be flowers.
I've had discs, and anything circular is usually... Yeah.
But see, in this one, there's nothing really circular, and this is the 5 of Pentacles. So it could just represent to what's going on around her, with like her looking around, making choices, the little people that are there too. So it all depends on the deck. Rebecca. Catherine, I have 5 kids and 3 still at home, and they keep me young for sure. Oh yes, children do keep us young. That's the good thing about children.
Now, who are we pulling a card for next?
Just a minute. I don't know who Mark Stromvig is.
Yeah, he's asked a half dozen questions.
Okay. Elaine, laugh out loud. That would be awesome. Jake, why I'm not sleeping well at night? Probably because you have too much on your brain. You need to get a book and write it out. Elaine, wow, Penelope, I already have had a message from my 3rd cousin last week, and he wants to get together. That's really cool. Okay, Elaine, if that's the case, I'm certain Penelope would voice what I said. Wear a mask.
Yes.
Well, Catherine, he might have met someone who looked like us. That is possible. Margaret, hi, D'Arcy. Can you see a message for me, please? So same for you, Penelope. And Margaret, I'm putting together a list of names of possible people one person to come on the show next Wednesday with Penelope and I. And you have to be on the show to do this. If you don't, then we'll pick someone at the last minute. And that is to have our actual reading so people can see how our reading is done. If you're interested, please say yes or no towards the bottom so I can put your name into the pile. Okay, for Margaret. Oh.
Hey, Margaret. Your last name looks so familiar.
Okay.
I chose the 5 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Swords shows a woman climbing, like actually walking up a staircase. There's been some conflict in your life recently, but when here you are very successfully climbing a staircase and leaving that behind. So always remember, with closure, make sure that you're gentle to the people you leave behind, because you never know one day if they're not going to catch up to you and surpass you, and they might be the one to need to lend you a hand. So again, go gently.
But it could also be for herself, to remember to be gentle with herself as she's moving away from people who no longer hold the same significance inside of her life, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And I picked the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is about taking time for yourself. Don't allow the burden of life to weigh you down so heavy that it feels like there's this huge burden on your chest, weighing you down, causing shortness of breath, as well as on your back. And to know that you can come above anything as long as you look after yourself.
And just one last thing for Margaret. I don't know how to explain how this came, but Margaret, I'm being told to tell you that you have a very generous heart and you are very, very helpful. It's one of the things that people most note about you, I'm being told. So the message is something I think sometimes we all need to take heed to. And the message is that when you're doing all these things for people, make sure that you're not depleting yourself. So it really does go back to that reinforcement. Like D'Arcy said, be kind to yourself.
It's hard sometimes to be kind to yourself, because when you do something and you beat yourself up constantly about it, it is hard.
Very much so.
Okay, Jake, you hired your nanny. I'm certain you checked her out, so I would have to say we're all intuitive, trust your own instincts, but you hired her, so I would think you thought she was trustworthy.
Well, and it just so happens you have about 3 more questions from Jake.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to ask your grandma Elizabeth how she died, because she says it's none of your business. Well, actually, I didn't have to ask. That's what she said.
And your Aunt Julie isn't going to share dirty jokes with D'Arcy or me or you.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, Michael. I think that's the first time I've seen you. I like the Michael. If
D'Arcy,
you see
read down a bit, because I think that he said I've got a soul that just can't sleep at night, and there's something not quite right. He's being a bit facetious.
Okay. Well, then, Michael, I'll tell you what. We'll give you a card, and that's the extent of it. So, well, let's put it like this, Michael. You're in the driver's seat. You can talk to your soul and ask it to sleep at night. Totally up to you. And, yeah, that's about all I need to say.
So,
big smile. Oh, and there goes a cat, flying cat.
So, Michael, as I scroll a little bit further down and see you're full of more nonsense, pull a card for authentic justice on earth. I'll tell you what, you want justice on earth, stop being so foolish and inconsiderate, because there is true key to justice.
And there's people on here who really like this show, so I don't know what to say here. Michael, be polite. There are other people on this show that really enjoy it, and they don't need to read stuff that isn't nice.
We live in hard enough times.
Yeah, right now it is hard enough for everyone. Okay, Rebecca, I'm really wanting to know about financial situations. Rebecca, what I really hear is that you need to look at maybe talking to someone about financial planning. And I'm not feeling like you're poor. I don't feel like you're scraping the bottom of a barrel to find your money, but I do feel like you need to be cautious how you're spending it. So maybe just have a look at your budget and rearrange it if necessary.
And that's the same message I'm getting.
Okay. Christy is saying, thank you both. Last couple of days, I've been doing some huge emotional pouring. Sorry about the cat. Pulling that dagger out, so to speak. And I'm going to be pursuing that path. D'Arcy, it's coming clear to me. Okay. It's sometimes, even as a medium now, I ask questions of spirit, and half the time they don't answer. And this morning, I actually pulled myself a card. I thought, okay, something's going on. And it basically said, slow down. Do this slowly. Don't rush into it. And they actually make sense. It actually made sense, because I am so busy worrying about where things are going, that slowing down actually makes huge sense for me. So maybe that applies to some of us here tonight as well, that instead of trying to rush and figure out where we're going in the next little while, maybe we should just take the moment and enjoy where we are, as much as a lot of people, myself included, probably are beginning to find COVID a little restrictive, especially those of you like Penelope and Tracy who are in Alberta, and you guys are really restricted. So just slow down.
We're actually not as restricted as people in Toronto and further east. So
yeah. And Faye, if you were here, Ashley, it has turned into the baker on this side because I sort of quit baking, and she made the most awesome chocolate chip butterscotch cookies. So yes, we will have cookies next week too.
So I will have tea. I will not bake cookies. I am not a dessert baker. I'm the sort of woman who raised a son that when he was 6, I'd made snacking cake or brownies one time. He saved them, took them to show and tell, and showed them at school for show and tell, and went, "My mom can bake." And how I found out was the teacher phoned and said, "Miss Beardsley, rumor has it that you know how to bake." And I said, "Occasionally." She says, "Could you bake a cake for one of the kids?" I said, "No, I don't actually bake at all."
Okay. So Rebecca defined it a little more. She sort of adopted 2 extra kids. So Rebecca, here, if you've got, and I can understand the extra stress and everything, what about, is there anything that can sort of be, as a child of a large family at one point, hand-me-downs, but I find hand-me-downs nowadays are like second store, like thrift store, which most people really enjoy now. So if you can find a way of spending less money, and I don't know if you're in Canada or US, but what about couponing? That seems to be a really good thing.
Check online, and depending on how the age of the kids are, there's things like there's twin sales here in Canada. One of the big things, especially in Alberta, are twin and triplet sales, and now we're doing them virtually, like through Marketplace. Not trying to advertise Facebook, but that is a really good resource as well for helping with the financial burden of extra children or the financial increase.
Yeah. And you might even know people who have things that you can swap, Rebecca. But I would say if you could coupon or find things that are on sale, like, 5 for $1, not that happens very often. It's more like 4 for $10. But it's going to really take some practice, especially since you have the extra kids, of just finding things that will help fit in. And you don't have to give up quantity or quality for quantity, because there are times I buy brand name stuff that is cheaper than buying the no name stuff. So just have a look around. Okay, so Michael's asked a good question, and pull a card for authentic justice on earth. Well, I don't think when it comes time for justice, anything's authentic, because everything has to be done by its merit. And on earth, until all men decide to work together, will there truly be justice? My answer would be no. But if each person held the truth of who they are inside their heart and practiced it with the people around them, then maybe some form of justice on earth could be felt. Starting with you.
And being as you did not say please or could you, I'm in this sort of mood tonight where I'm going to say no. As far as I'm concerned, I answered earlier, the justice should start and the fairness should start with you, so that other people aren't having their time wasted by constantly asking for a card for justice on earth. If you want justice on earth, practice it, sunshine.
Hey, Jake. Sean's on Tuesday night.
Wait, Sean's missing?
Yeah, apparently he's not here.
Okay, Jake, don't get me wrong. I can say to you that Sean's missing because I haven't physically seen my brother in over a year, and I usually go a couple of years between seeing him. That's because I live in Alberta. But did he get lost? Did he go missing?
He just says he misses Sean, and Sean's on Tuesday night. So if you'd like, the gentleman
It's probably more
treatment.
fun.
Come on Tuesday night. Okay. Well, okay. So hello, Michael. He just said hi. Okay. Margaret, it is hard to slow down helping others, especially when I see I can help. Thank you for the message, beautiful souls. It is. Look at us. Here we are. A Tuesday night of our time, every Tuesday night, and we are here. And it's because we feel that by being here, one, if you have an honest question, we can do our best to answer it. And that's the whole idea behind this. And Elaine, thank you. Michael, I think we pulled the card.
We have we both, and he's the one that asked for the cards for justice as well.
Yeah. I have, Jake, I think you're going to have to really listen to your own instincts about Mark, because I'm not picking anything up. Sort of feel like if he is, he is. If he isn't, he isn't. You really have to trust yourself.
Jake, if you're sincere about the question, I only have one question to ask for you to ask yourself. If you were in a bind, if he was in a bind, would you go over there instantly to help him? I suspect, putting aside everything else, it's probably yes. But here's the question you've got to ask yourself. If you were truly in trouble and he was the first person that you called, would he stop everything he was doing to be there?
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. So okay, Faith, could we pull a card for her grandson, Billy?
I have pulled a card for her grandson, Billy. What did you pull?
I pulled Temperance, that he needs to learn patience, that he needs to understand what is meant to be inside his life will actually transpire and happen when the time is right. And there is a lot of joy and happiness meant for him, and he is being guarded by an angel.
Now, funny you should say that, because I've had his card set aside for a little bit. There's your angel. And I pulled the card Strength, which talks about just that. Both patience and in patience, there's strength. And you have all the skills he needs to be able to reach that strength and reach that patience. And angels do watch over him. But Faye, angels also watch over your whole family.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to take on Michael's question. When will heaven? It's different. When will heaven and earth be more fully merged? I guess when everyone on earth dies would be one answer to that. But the truth is, there is always going to be a tug of war between heaven and earth, because there's always going to be good and bad. And as long as we have going back to one of your other question, injustice, because man cannot look at other men and accept them as their brothers, there will never be a truly merging of heaven and earth.
And see, you chose heaven and earth, and mine is transition. And transition, Michael talks of, transition is this deck's really gentle way of saying death. And death isn't just about dying. Death is about constantly being in motion and changing. So can the earth and the heaven truly merge? I'll disagree to the point that no, it can never, because D'Arcy's right. First, there's no harmony. And second, I am not one that believes that, I believe you can have heaven on earth, but you can't have heaven and earth coexisting at the same time, because there is constantly transition. Someone said something very wise, and I think maybe this is your message to this question. All things end, Michael. All things are owed to death.
Okay. So Margaret wanted to know if we hear anything from her late brother or mom. She won't ask any more, but I can explain why a lot of people aren't hearing from the loved ones on the other side, and Penelope's actually already brought it up. We just had the lunar moon On top of it, it was the cold moon, first time in ages. And then we've got this alignment of stars and planets coming about. So there is a shift on the other side going on as well. And he may be busy helping people across right now, because I'm feeling, Margaret, that Gordon may, and your mom, may be helping people across. But if you don't mind giving us a day to answer that,
Yes.
because I would actually have to sit down and concentrate on them.
And my response to that is yes. I mean, it's the beaver moon, and the beaver moon is about shoring up. This was the beaver moon as well as the dark moon, and that puts a tremendous toll on the spirit world. And it is at this time that they're taking time to rebuild and regroup. The one thing I will say is, if you can wait closer to the 19th, 20th of this month, when the solstice is happening again, maybe save your question for the 22nd. I think it'll be easier for us to hear, because we're going into the darkest and deepest of the season. This is where everything starts to go to sleep. It starts to go into what's deep sleep. So hang in there. And I'll tell you what, D'Arcy, I'll start the answer for Rebecca.
Okay.
I know, honey, and I can appreciate, first, God bless you for, I believe you said you were a nurse.
Yes, she is.
God bless you for being a nurse, honey. It is a amazing and hard job. I was a CNA for 20 years in palliative care. As far as I'm concerned, none of us were ever thanked enough, from the RNs all the way down. And I know people assume that I made a lot of money as a CNA in palliative care, and I know the truth like you do. So I'm glad you're not scraping the barrel, and couponing it's true. Couponing takes time, honey. I understand that. But like D'Arcy was saying, look for swap meets, or in this case, there'll be swap meets online. And I'm really serious. Look into people who have similar age groups that you know, like D'Arcy said. And if it's about trying to balance for your food budget and stuff, there's a couple of really cool sites that I love. Taste of Home and Crab now have it so that you can put the number of meals you want to make for the number of people you want to make a meal for. My neighbor smokes pot, and I'm allergic to it. So every once in a while I have coughing fits from it.
The other thing you might want to look at, since you have extra children to feed, is doing a food plan and actually arranging the food plan, buying the food for that week. And if these kids are old enough that they can help, then I would get them to start doing the couponing. I know there are ways that we can save money even when we're busy. And yes, I am certain at this particular time you are working billions of hours, and I can't imagine being in your position. So maybe even reach out to his friends, fellow nurses, and see if they have ideas that could help you as well. Okay, Marion, I will pull a card for you, Six of Pentacles, and this is balancing money and not you're a little conservative, but you're not crazy conservative around your money. But this is the fact that you're going to have money. You're able to juggle it and make it work for yourself. And then for Kathy, your sister, feel like she may feel a little trapped, a little despondent. But I honestly believe with the light shining through and everything, I do believe everything's going to work out for Kathy. Just tell her to have a little patience and, again, stop beating herself up and to look more to her future than she is right now looking at her past or even her present.
Okay, and for you, Marion, I chose the Chariot, which talks about the strength to face the journey. And I think in this case, this is more of an internal journey while we travel through COVID. Listen to your spirit guides and look forward to...
Fred, do you want to come pull a card?
I have a cat on my lap.
Come on over.
I have a cat on my lap.
I don't want to get up.
Well, you're going to have to.
Okay.
And look forward to your time alone to gather some strength. And it was Kathy?
Yeah, her sister.
Kathy, I pulled the Seven of Swords, which talks about facing, you've faced a lot, but now it's time to move away from that. Maybe spend a little bit of time in the next while near water. Like D'Arcy says, I'm not big on these zero gravity water tanks and stuff, but maybe spend some time by a stream or by the ocean if you live near one, and take a little time to heal internally.
Okay. Rebecca, I'm definitely not scraping the bottom, and I'm truly blessed to have a job right now. But I also work in maximum secure prison, so that adds to stress, anxiety, emotions as well. Okay, Rebecca, you really need to start meditating then. 5 minutes, that's all you need in a day.
We'll start with 2 if you think 5 is too much, though.
Yeah, and just find some time to yourself. I mean, everyone here, I would tell you, I think we started with looking after yourself, remembering the girl inside, the child inside. I think you better do it before you fall over and have a heart attack or a stroke because you're doing too much. So your stress, your anxiety, and your emotions, I can understand why they're off the chart. And you really do need to put some time aside for yourself. And Jake.
Malcolm's decided to say a quick hello to everyone.
Yeah. And Jake, you can go back like anyone else and watch the whole program to find what Penelope said about your friend. Okay. And for Dominique, I pulled the Ace of Swords, new starts, new beginnings, read legal papers before Dominique signs them, and that there's an opportunity to soar in whatever career choice they have and to literally fly like the eagles.
And for Dominic, I chose the Ace, the Princess of Cups. And this talks about how she needs to focus on her health and her emotional and her financial health and pay attention to her spirit guides.
Okay, so I have the names, but I have to run over to where my daughter is. Hold on a minute.
So I'll answer Rebecca's. Margaret, thank you. That I promise you'll hear from him sooner. And Rebecca, just ground a little bit. I always recommend keeping amethyst or a smoky quartz. It helps.
I could tell by the fold.
And the solstice is huge for me. I'm not sure if D'Arcy celebrates it the same way I do, but
Hey,
the solstice, D'Arcy.
what?
I told her that yes, she should ground herself with amethyst and smoky quartz. Those are my personal choices. What are your personal choices?
I would say make sure you have lots of chocolate on hand, and
See, D'Arcy has the vices I don't. Like I don't eat a lot of chocolate. I'm a person that can literally, or candy, I can literally have a chocolate bar, like an Aero bar, last 2 weeks.
Okay, and Rebecca, like I don't have my wool here, so let me find something that I can use as such. First, you know what? I'll tell you what, Rebecca. Get the crystals and everything, because I have the name of the person who gets the free reading next week, but they have to come online. So I will send you an invite through I Am on Facebook. And who do you think it is?
Rebecca.
It is Rebecca. Look, can't see that, but it says Rebecca. If you can see it, there you go. Rebecca, you get the free reading. Yay! So next Tuesday online, and I will send you an invite on Sunday through I Am, and you get a free reading. Okay, so we'll probably spend 10 to 15 minutes doing the reading for Rebecca.
Yes, and Rebecca, when it comes to grounding and stuff, if you're a little bit nervous the first time, I just spoke to a young man about this, is you want something that ties you. Some people worry when they meditate that they'll spirit or soul journey, things like that. So what I recommend is, if you have, I use black thread because black, what's it called, D'Arcy? Embroidery cotton. Or black leather that you can get at the craft store to make leather bracelets. I use black embroidery cotton or black leather to wrap around my wrist to remind me that I'm grounded. And that was recommended by a Buddhist monk. And I find it helps. And I always start with 1 or 2 minutes to start. And literally, the solstice is always a good time to be starting something new. I don't know what most people know, but I believe the solstice is, we're about to tease our Mother Earth to wake up. She is hitting the last month of the deepest sleep of her season. And we're about to tell her it's time to wake up.
So, and I see Jeanette snuck in. Aren't you glad, Jeanette, I put your name in the pile anyways, even though you weren't there? Oh, and we need to pull a card for Sandra.
Sandra, I didn't see her tonight.
I didn't see her, but I still pulled a card for her. So, Jeanette, 10 of Cups, happiness, Jeanette, celebrating life, the emotions all around you. And this is looking to your future, but knowing that your family, your friends are close to you and that they love you dearly. All right.
Okay, I chose the Ace of Pentacles, which talks about new life, new beginnings, the possible baby coming into the family, and a time for you to focus as a woman. Again, women's health is a huge issue for me this month, this reading this week. I don't know why, but it's a message that's coming through. Women out there, pay attention to your women's health.
Okay, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, Sandra, I know you're not on here, but if you watch later, okay, I pulled the world for you. And look at all that white light surrounding you and lifting you off the ground, pulling your worries away. This is pretty amazing, and it's saying that there isn't anything, Sandra, that you cannot accomplish if you put your heart to it.
And I chose, Sandra, justice. And again, there's all that beautiful purity around you, and justice says things are showing in your favor. Watch any legal, take what you need to sign, and be just and kind to someone in return.
Well, nice. Okay, so Rebecca, for next Tuesday, and I'll send you an IM to remind you, but write out a few questions, like maybe 5 that you have. When we come on, we may just take a few minutes, say hello to everyone, just let people come on so they can see how a reading is done. Okay. And do we want to do it at the same time, or do you want to do part of a reading for Rebecca and I do part?
We can do it in parts. You start and I'll finish.
Okay.
Did you see Kathy here? Because I didn't see her, so I just want to make sure I didn't miss her.
No, I didn't see Kathy, but I didn't see Amanda either. So they might have been busy.
Okay,
but
just
tomorrow,
because I'm not seeing everyone.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, I will be on at 7 o'clock. Remember, everyone, that Sean will be on with the 2 of us on December 22nd at 7 p.m. Jake, if you miss Sean, he is on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with myself. So that's next Tuesday.
Jake, just because we have a quick minute to spare, the message I said was, ask yourself, you would do anything for, what was his name, the man's name, Mark?
Mark.
But would Mark, if you phoned him today, right now, would he stop everything he was doing to be by your side? You can answer yes to that, then good luck.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you very much. Tomorrow night, actually, since Rebecca brought it up about meditation, we'll have a little chat about meditation tomorrow night and what to do, how to do it. And we may even walk through a small one with everyone, so you get to listen to me talk. Isn't that great?
Always remember, meditation is something that is very personal as well. So if you don't like it, neither one of us are masters of meditation.
Speak for yourself. I'm a master at meditation. I've got the muse.
I have the muse, and I've had it longer, girl. But you know what? The other thing for Rebecca, I would recommend, if she wants, you can even message me, and I can send her a link to a Buddhist chakra for healing the heart. It's 20 minutes long, but I've been sending it out to friends. It was sent to me by a Buddhist who believed that my heart needed some healing at one point, and I've been sharing it. So good to see you guys. I'm so happy and excited each time I see everyone.
Yes, same here. Thank you very much for coming on. And I will see you all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. For those of you who come on, Penny will be, there you go. First time in ages already. Penelope will be on next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and Sean will be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Okay, so we'll talk to you all again soon.
Many blessings. It was wonderful seeing everyone again.
Don't worry, Jeanette. We'll do it again another time, okay? All right. May love, joy, happiness find you in mysterious ways. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers. Almost forgot your mantra, sis.
I know I did.